I have been promising to film this video for well over a year, and it is my most requested video ever. So welcome guys to my updated handbag collection video. The last time I filmed this was in 2019, which seems like a long time ago, but actually considering 2020 was a complete write-off, it wasn't that long ago really. I made a pact with myself after filming that handbag collection that I was going to refilm it every single year. As I say, 2020 was a write-off and it just didn't happen. But we're here now and that's all that matters. A lot has changed since that video. I mean, everything has changed, hasn't it really? But in terms of my handbag collection, a lot of the bags that I showed you before have been sold on and gone to new homes. I then used that money to purchase new handbags, which we have a fair few of new arrivals. Before we get into this video, I just want to do a quick disclaimer, and that is all of these handbags have been purchased with my own hard-earned cash. I have been building this collection for well over 10 years. I work hard, I save my money, and this is how I like to spend it. And no, they weren't gifts from family or from boyfriends. I mean, that is no shade to anyone that is getting gifted Chanel bags from their boyfriends, because if he's doing that, keep him close, and if he's got a brother, let me know. I also just want to say I do not want this video to come across at all as bragging or as boasting, because it is not that. This is just me sharing my pride and joys with you guys, as you always ask me to. And I know that I've got so many other handbag lovers over on my channel and also over on my Instagram. I am the biggest handbag geek in the world. So to know that so many of you guys share the same passion as me makes me very happy. Anyway, let's get into this video, otherwise we are going to be here all day. My old handbag collection video, I'm actually going to leave it linked in the description box down below, just so you can go and watch that again, because I gave more story times on each bag in that video. I'm not going to do that again because obviously they're already there. So in this video, I'll just tell you roughly when I bought it, show you each bag and move on to the next one. I also won't be telling you the prices either. That is only because I am not up to date with the recent prices. But what I will do is every single bag that I feature will be linked down below in the description box. You have the price there, and also if you want to buy it, there'll be a link there so you can buy it. So let's start with handbag number one. This is the oldest one left in my collection now. There is a few before this one, but they've all been sold on. So this is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull tote in the size, I always get this wrong, but I think it's the PM. It's the middle size. So there's one smaller than this, there's one bigger than this. It's the demier print, and then it's got the red striped lined interior. This bag has honestly been used thousands of times on the beach. I used to use it every single day when I used to go to work. Do you remember when we actually used to go to a place of work? I used to use it for the gym when we were actually allowed to go to the gym. It has been well loved. It still looks brand new. There are pretty much no marks on it. The great thing about this Louis Vuitton canvas material is it doesn't scratch, it barely ages, and it is so durable. Like, honestly, this bag has been through a lot. I can't even say it's been well looked after, because it really hasn't, but it still is perfect. Like, there's actually not a scratch on it. I still recommend this bag if you want something for just every day. You can chuck all your things into it. A lot of my friends that have children carry this bag all the time. It's perfect for chucking nappies in and bottles. Very bougie for a mum bag, but I can see why they like it. I said I wasn't going to mention prices, and I'm not, because I really do not know the price of this, and I can't remember what I paid for it. But always with Louis Vuitton, they have price increases, and this bag, I believe, is about maybe £500 more expensive than it was when I first bought it. Bags are an investment, guys. Obviously, you have to stick with the right brands. Brands like Louis Vuitton and Chanel, the prices always increase. I feel like it's going to be hard for me to remember like what order my bags all came in. I believe after the Neverfull was this. So this is my Celine Nano. This bag is actually 6 years old in April, and she still looks good as new. Honestly, I cannot fault the quality of this Celine bag. I also got told when I bought it that I had to be really careful with the leather. It's smooth leather. I got told it was going to scratch loads. Honestly, there is barely a scratch on it. I have used this bag to death. When I purchased this handbag, I think it was my only black handbag in my collection, so it got used for every night out, every shopping trip. It has seen a lot of use. I think the only sign of wear is on the base, and most of that would wipe off, and I think it's only got wear because obviously it's got no feet on it. I cannot fault this handbag. I am so glad I purchased it. I feel like it's going to stay in my collection forever. I also love the fact that I think it's become a classic, so I don't think it's dated at all. Even though it's 6 years old, you can still go and buy this handbag right now I will say, for a lot more money than I paid for it. But it's beautiful and you'll see me wear it countless amounts of times over on my Instagram. I would also say that it's full of so much stuff. I've got a battery pack. I have got a packet of hairbands, hand sanitizer, How 2020, well 2021, and a clip. I feel like every single bag is going to have so much stuff in it. After the Nano came the Gucci. I think it must have been my Gucci Dionysus. Am I saying that right? After all these years, I'm still not sure if I'm saying that right. This was purchased in Harrods. There is a whole story behind this. As I say, go and watch the other video. I debated selling this a few years ago. Well, even last year, I was going to sell this, but I believe this is a classic. And I don't think I'd necessarily get what I'd want for it. I mean, it has gone up in price since I purchased it. But what I mean is I think it's worth more to me than what I could get money-wise for it. Does that make sense? Around the time I purchased this, I actually purchased, I think it was 3 other Gucci bags. I also showed you those in the last video. They have actually all been sold now. But this one did stand the test of time. It is actually the only Gucci I have left in my collection. I was just double checking that. In terms of signs of wear, it's not bad at all. Like, it looks pretty new. I think the only sign of wear is just on the inside of it there where the suede is, and a little bit on the sides here as well. Like all of my handbags though, I look after them very well. They are all treated with utter respect. They often get a chair in a restaurant. If not, they'll sit on my lap or the table. And yeah, I just look after them a lot. I mean, when you spend this much money on stuff, you do look after them. That's one thing I would say, when you buy your own things, I do think you appreciate them more and you look after them more. Just saying. The next bag, I think it must have been my Alma BB. Oh, isn't she so cute? This bag gets no use. Like, when I mean no use, I don't think she's been used for like 2 years, honestly. I really do like her, but I feel like my style has changed so much, and I just don't really feel like she suits me anymore. But I don't really want to get rid of her because I think this is the kind of thing that you pass on to your future daughter. And it is a classic, and half the time as well, these things come back around. And if I sold it now for peanuts, I'd probably end up repurchasing it in like 10 years time for triple the price or something ridiculous. So I'm not selling her. She'll stay in my wardrobe, I feel like, forever. So cute. I mean, once upon a time, I would have recommended this bag 100%. It's still so nice, but like I say, it's just not my style. It does come with a crossbody strap as well. That must be upstairs on the shelf. Only thing I'll say about this bag, obviously it's got the Louis Vuitton leather that ages, which is fine. I don't mind that because that's just what it does. But it does stain quite a lot. I showed you guys before, but there is a big stain on the bottom here. I spilled a glass of wine on it on a night out. And yeah, so there's me just saying I look after all my bags. I leave them on the table if they don't have a chair. I left it on the table and she got drenched in wine. And I never spill wine. Wine needs to be drank, not spilt. So yeah, quite sad she's stained, but I guess it adds character, and you know, she's got a little bit of a memory behind her, even though I can't really remember the night because I say I spilt wine. I think I drank a lot as well. After the Alma BB, I actually can't remember. I think I've sold a couple of bags. But the next one I think in line was this. So this is my Louis Vuitton bum bag. Went on a mad hunt for this handbag. It used to be out of stock all of the time. I think up until just recently, it's still been out of stock and hard to get hold of. I wear this handbag a lot if I go shopping. Obviously at the moment, no shopping is happening. But it's really good for if you're in London, because obviously you wear it crossbody like this and it's hands-free completely. The only thing is when you open it up, if it's got stuff inside and it's heavy, it kind of opens up and everything falls out. So there is a slight design fault with it. It's also the canvas leather, so it's really durable. Barely any signs of wear, obviously, other than the colour difference of the straps. It's funny because when you first get these handbags, this is like almost white, where it's a really light cream. And over time, they age and they go this kind of like dark brown. I mean, you see some vintage Louis Vuitton where this is so dark. Yeah, I still love this bag and I don't see it leaving my collection anytime soon. Next up, I believe, was my Palm Springs Mini. This is my most used handbag ever. I use this every single day. It's once again so durable. It's the canvas, barely any signs of wear, although there is a little bit more signs of wear on this bag than some of my other Louis Vuittons. This bit here is slightly like gone a bit of a silver colour. It should be gold, but it's gone slightly silvery. You can't see it though unless like you're really looking. There is slight signs of wear just on this little bit here. You're probably not going to be able to see. I'm being overly fussy when I say there's signs of wear, because when I say I wear this bag, like I wear it so much. There's stuff in here as well. We've got, oh, my khaki, a hairband, and a, by the way, these are from, I think they're from Iceland Warehouse. They're called Skinny Whip Toffee Chocolate Snack Bar, 99 calories. They're so nice. I keep them in my bag because I am the most angry, like hangry person ever. If I haven't eaten, I am awful. So I like to keep snacks in my handbag because you never know when you're gonna have that hangry moment. Also got some chewing gum. But yeah, I can't fault this bag at all. You'll have seen me wear it a million times over on Instagram, and genuinely, cost per wear, it's probably been about 3p. I've worn it so much. There's actually a really funny story behind this handbag. If you go and watch my old handbag collection video, you'll hear it. After the Palm Springs, I believe it came my Fendi Baguette. Many of you might remember I bought this bag whilst I was drunk and had severe anxiety for like 2 months afterwards and just thought, why did I buy it? And I also lost the receipt. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I lost the receipt for it, so I couldn't even take it back. I did actually go into Selfridges at a later date and they printed the receipt for me, which was really nice. Just in case if I ever resold the bag, then I'd have proof of purchase. But yeah, this bag gave me massive anxiety when I first bought it because it was a lot of money. But I do feel like it was money well spent. The only thing I'll say is I haven't used this bag in such a long time. Every single time I put an outfit together, I think, oh, I might wear my Fendi bag. And I put it on with it and then I'm like, and end up opting for something a lot plainer. I do love it though. I think it's classic. The only thing that I don't love about it, but it's kind of obvious, because it's material, it's got no structure to it. This is actually padded out right now with a top. There's actually 2 tops in here. This is just how I leave it stuffed when it's in the wardrobe. And often when I wear it out and about, I do stuff out the bottom of it with a scarf or something. I love structured bags. I hate bags that are all slouchy looking. And without stuffing this, I really want to get a bag organizer for it actually, that would help. But without stuffing this bag, it definitely is very slouchy. I still do love it though. I love the top handle, the crossbody strap, and I feel like the Baguette style, and especially this Fendi print, is pretty classic. But yeah, that's the only thing. It goes slouchy, and I don't always love how it looks when it's slouchy. Okay, now we're at the stage of my handbag collection. None of these bags featured in my last collection video. So, the bag that I purchased after the last collection video was this. If you remember, at the end of that video, I spoke about the bags that were on my wish list. And this was one of the bags that was on my wish list. So this is the Dior saddle bag with the crossbody strap, which I purchased separate to the bag as well. I mean, this was a lot of bloody money. Like, I can't, it was a lot. I think it was like £2,300 plus the strap. I remember when I bought it, once again, heavily influenced by drinking a lot of champagne in the Dior store with one of my friends. It was actually her birthday. We both bought one of these bags. And on the train home, I think it was another case of sheer anxiety about the amount of money we spent, but no regrets at all. This bag is beautiful. It's so well made. I believe it is such a classic. And the day that we had at the Dior store buying this bag was so special. Like, it's actually going to be a memory that will live with me forever. Sounds so cringe, but it's genuinely so true. We just had so much fun, and the bag's just faultless. I got this back in 2019, and even though, like I say, in 2020 none of my bags saw much of the light of day, this has been worn a lot. And because I opted for the grain leather, there's barely any marks on it at all. Like, it still really does look brand new. The hardware, there's no real scratching or tarnishing on it. The strap, like, it still does look good as new. I love as well so much this bag, when you wear it with the strap, which I more often than not do wear the strap with it, I feel like it looks really casual and quite a cool bag. But then obviously when you take the strap off, and this is the part of the bag, like, this is my favorite, how this looks, especially with an all black outfit. But without it, you can easily like wear it on a night out. And I feel like it looks a lot chicer and a lot more classic. So what I'm trying to say is I feel like the strap makes it look like a completely different bag. I mean, I hope so as well, because this strap, I think the strap itself is like, is it like £600? Maybe it's more. Inside's a little bit annoying, I have to say, especially when you put things in it. Because basically, as you can see here, there's kind of like a fold there, and the inside folds as well, so things get stuck, like coins and stuff get stuck in there. But I mean, really, it's not a big deal. And the bag is beautiful. I am trying to remember the timeline of events. So after the Dior bag, I think it was my Louis Vuitton multi-pochette. Do you remember the hype on Instagram when this bag first came out? Louis Vuitton did a really, well, some people like think it's clever and other people hate the way that they market, but either way, it works and it makes people want to buy the handbags. They gift this bag, or whatever bag that is out at the time, to all the big bloggers that most of us love and follow, and those bloggers style it how they'd style it and photograph it and put it on their Instagram feeds. And it makes you want the handbag. And I was one of the suckers that went and bought the bag because of it. I managed to get my hands on it through a personal shopper, Connie at Selfridges in Manchester. She literally is the best. But this bag, I think it's still out of stock now. Like, it's still so hard to get hold of. I went for the khaki strap. I do love this bag, and when I first ever got it, I went to London. I had like 10 people stop me, like, how did you get hold of that handbag? Even when I went into the Louis Vuitton store and I went to Selfridges the same day, the Louis Vuitton staff were like, how did you get that? Because it was like gold dust. I also got it before it price increased. I think it cost on its first release £1,070. They soon realised that it was a very popular bag, and because of that they hiked the price up slightly. I do really love this bag. I have worn it a fair amount. I'm hesitating slightly and I don't love it as much as some of my other bags, mainly because of the quality. I would personally have preferred to have paid like an extra £200 for it or something, for the quality to have been £200 better. The zips on it are a little bit sticky. They're not as bad as actually they used to be, but they're a little, it just feels a little bit cheap. I can't explain it other than it just feeling a little bit cheap. And I don't love that. If you're gonna spend a lot of money on a bag, you want it to feel and look expensive. I mean, it does look quite expensive, I guess. I do love though the versatility with it. I've never actually worn it as separates though. I'm sure most of you know, but it does all come apart, so you can wear each bag individually. You can even take the chain off and wear it as a necklace if you want to do that. And I suppose that's pretty cool, but I've actually never done that. Actually, no, that's a lie. Once when I was in Dubai, I used the little bag with the chain on a night out. So yeah, it has actually been worn as separates once. Actually, there is one story I have about this bag. The front of mine is actually slightly stained. You can't tell so much anymore because the back one has caught up with it slightly. But if you can see, the front tab is a slightly different colour to the back tab. And that is because on the way back from Dubai, bearing in mind this bag was brand new at the time. I think I'd had it like 10 days. And I was on the plane. I don't know if any of you remember what it's like flying on a plane. I barely remember myself, but you used to sit down and then you'd put your things under the seat in front of you. So I did. I put it under the seat in front of me. And when I woke up from a long sleep, I grabbed my bag and my phone was in it and it was drenched. Like, when I mean drenched, like I am talking, you could have wrung it out. The good thing about it though is because it's this canvas material, it's almost like waterproof, so there was no damage to the inside at all. But this at the time was obviously that brand new Louis Vuitton fresh creamy leather colour, and it was dark brown because the girl in front of me had dropped her can of Pepsi, an entire large can of Pepsi, and it had dripped underneath her seat because it had gone down the crack and dripped onto my bag underneath. She didn't tell me because I think she just thought it went onto the floor, but obviously it covered all of my stuff. This is gonna sound really kind of, you know, I had a bag full of Cartier jewellery. I'm not saying it like that, but I had treated myself to a few things from Cartier at the airport. And it was actually resting on top of the carrier bag with all of those things in it. They were also drenched in Pepsi. So a lot of my Cartier boxes look a little bit manky because they're all stained with Pepsi, as well as my handbag. As you can imagine, she wasn't my best friend, the girl, but I couldn't really be mad at her, like it was a mistake, you know, and she didn't know underneath her seat was my stuff. So there's a little bit of a story behind that. It's Pepsi stained, and in real life, you can see the Pepsi stain. After that came another Louis Vuitton bag, and it was a big Louis Vuitton bag this time, and it is my Keepall 55. I had to think which one it was then. So this is the Keepall 55. I have used this bag so much whenever I have got a weekend away, or if I'm staying at a friend's house, or you know, anywhere I need to go. Often when I'm shooting in London, if I'm shooting outfits, it gets used all of the time. I get so many questions on this bag and I really do rate it. As you can see, the leather is just starting to age on it. I have had it about 18 months, I'd say. It is actually full with loads of crap. I've got a charger in here. I've got some Gaviscon. I'm a real heartburn sufferer. I've got my AirPods. I was wondering where they were actually. A hairbrush. I've got a mask. Look at this mask, guys. I got it from Topshop before it's shut. Look how glittery it is. How cool is that? And there is a little bit of a story behind this bag. So, do any of you guys remember the Louis Vuitton Archlight trainers? Well, if you don't remember them, I'll leave them on screen somewhere around now, just so you know what I'm talking about. I had those. I had them for about 8 months, I'd say, and then all this yellow started appearing on them, and they just looked really kind of weird. I put them on my story, and so many of you wrote to me and said, take them back to Louis Vuitton, it's a fault. So I did. I took them back to Louis Vuitton, and they gave me a credit note for those shoes, which really good service, especially because I'd worn them for 6 months. I mean, I said worn them for 6 months, they'd probably been worn like 5 times, and they were like £780. So they gave me the option either to exchange for something in store on that day or have the credit note. So I chose to have the credit note because I couldn't decide what to get, and then at a later date I went and bought this. So actually this bag only ended up costing me, I think it was like £500. So it felt like a bit of a bargain at the time. And this is something I probably would never have bought if I didn't have that money to spend on it. Only because I felt like I wouldn't really get much use out of it, and it's not something you can wear on an everyday basis. So like, you can't really go to the club with this on your arm, can you? But I've actually ended up wearing this more than so many of my handbags. Obviously like not for nights out, but just because it's so great to chuck your overnight stuff in or chuck your shooting stuff in it. You've also got the long strap as well, so it's really easy to carry. So when I'm in London, chuck it over my shoulder, and yeah, I fully rate it, and I'm so glad I got it. My camera battery just died. That's how long I've been talking for already. I'm actually scared about how long this video is going to be, and I'm so thirsty. So my next bag was another bag that featured at the end of my last handbag collection video as something that was on my wish list, and the bag I'm talking about is this. So this was my first ever Chanel bag, and this is the Chanel Trendy CC in the small size. Isn't she stunning? I know, but she scratches like a bitch. Everyone said to me lambskin is going to scratch, but like everyone told me about the Celine Nano, it was going to scratch. It didn't, so I didn't trust them. I thought, no, I'll look after it. Let me tell you, this bag scratches even if you cradle it like a baby. Like if I see my cat and I'm carrying this bag, like it gives me heart palpitations, because one claw on this and it is game over. But it doesn't even matter about cat claws. It can rub against your jeans. It can rub against, I mean, it's not quite bad enough for that, but it just scratches like no other bag. And I've tried to be careful with it, but I mean, it's not overly scratched, but I just can see a few little dinks, which, considering how many times I've worn this bag, which is not a lot at all, it doesn't really make me too happy. So other than the negative I've just told you, that it scratches quite easily, other than that, it is so beautiful. One of my favorite pieces is the top of it where it says like Chanel on the bar. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, this bag was a lot of money, as I say, and maybe quality wise, the leather does feel really buttery and amazing. Is it worth what you pay for it? It's no better quality than my Dior bag, put it that way. It definitely isn't, but it's Chanel. It's the pinnacle, other than obviously a Hermes Birkin or an Hermes Kelly. And it was a very proud moment when I bought this handbag. It still makes me sick, the amount it cost. And I think because another thing I'll say is, as much as I love this bag, I don't actually feel like it suits my style as much as I thought it would. I think I'm a lot, well, I know, I'm a lot more of a casual dresser, and I feel like this is very much like a lady's bag. I'll never get rid of it. I mean, I don't want to say never, but I don't believe I will ever get rid of it, because it is beautiful, it's a classic, and I do think one day I will wear it a lot more than I do right now. But I do think as I mature slightly and my dress sense changes, it will see a lot more use. But at the moment, I feel like a classic Chanel would have been more suited to my style. But no regrets in buying it, because, well, she's still stunning. Sorry if I look different right now, or my surroundings or anything else, but I've just been putting my handbags away, and it suddenly dawned on me I never actually told the story of when I purchased this Chanel bag. So obviously, buying a Chanel in your handbag career is a real pinnacle moment. It's a big deal. It's something I've been working towards for an awfully long time. I went into the Chanel store, I was expecting it to be like a really memorable experience like it was when I bought my Dior saddle bag. Champagne, macaroons, which is what you get at Dior. Went into Chanel. Got ignored. Actually, it was a bit of a long thing. So I went into Chanel once, they told me that the bag didn't exist anymore, it'd been discontinued. Looked online, it was still around. Cut a long story short, because I've already told this before on another video, found a really nice SA. He worked in the Bond Street store. He ended up getting the handbag for me, and I did go in and I purchased off of him. I asked when I was there if I could get a sparkling water. No, in Chanel, you're not allowed to drink on shop floor. So definitely no champagne, not even sparkling water. There was no real service in there, I can't lie. It was not a memorable experience. It was like going to go and buy your groceries. I literally just sat there, they gave me the bag, I walked and paid an extortionate amount of money for it and left. And that was it really. I then came home, I unboxed the handbag, there is a video on that. And yeah, that was it, I got my Chanel bag. A few days later, I went to go and wear it for the first time and I actually noticed on one of the side panels was a huge dent. I don't know if I've ever told this story. There was a huge dent. I then thought, like, I hadn't done that, I hadn't even worn it. I thought, is that how the bag's meant to be designed? So I started Googling pictures of the Chanel Trendy to try and compare. I then sent a few pictures to some girls on Instagram who I know who had this bag. Decided that it was actually something wrong with the bag that I had. I ended up sending pictures to the SA that sold me this bag. He then confirmed there was an issue with it. I then had to cart the bag, the box, the bag. It doesn't really sound like a big deal. I live quite a mission from London, so I had to cart it on the train. It's also really unsafe as well. A lot of people get robbed when you're carrying around Chanel bags. Well, like this anyway, but when you're carrying around carrier bags. It was just really unnecessary. I took it all the way back to the store and they then switched it for this. I barely got an apology. It was like it wasn't even a big deal. No compensation, no anything. And okay, I get that maybe compensation, they're not really gonna give you a discount off a Chanel bag. But I should have got, I think, a proper apology. Like, so sorry you had to do this. I mean, like, I had to pay for the train again and all stuff like that to go and get it sorted. I don't know, it doesn't really sound like a big deal, I guess, but like, at the time, and even now, for me, I just think it was a bit of a joke. I'm definitely a mug because I would still buy things from Chanel because I just love their bags and they're just beautiful, but the service I got there was definitely not great. And I've had amazing service at Louis Vuitton, at Dior, so many of the other big brands. And so this Chanel, it was not memorable buying it. It was actually a pain in the arse because of the fact it was faulty. Like I say, you just don't expect that. So yeah, there's my story time. I'll leave you to watch the rest of the video. Next bag, we're on to my first of many YSL bags. This is my YSL college bag. This has seen so much love over on my Instagram. I never thought I was gonna wear this bag as much as I have, and I really thought it was gonna be a bag I'd only wear in summer. I'm not gonna talk too much about my YSL bags because I did actually show you them all in a recent video. I'll also leave that link down below. But this bag I've actually used to death. It has just had a price increase. When I got it, I think it was £1,500. It's now £1,700. I would say the quality of YSL bags, they are good for their price point, but they're not as good as the likes of Dior and things. But obviously the price point is completely different. This has had a little chip on the top of the Y. I have been told though by YSL, in Selfridges, that if I sent it off they would repair it no problem at all, which is always really good to know. I just haven't actually sent it off, obviously, because it's in my hand. It's really roomy, and as I say, I just feel like they're a really good classic handbag that you can wear every single day and they never really date. This YSL logo is absolutely iconic, and this bag comes in lots of different colours. So if you don't like the cream one, it comes in grey, black, reds. I've even seen it in green once. It comes in loads of different colours, and it's obviously got the top handle, the crossbody option. I just have no real complaints about it. I love this bag. So as I say, the YSL college bag really kicked off my love for YSL bags. So after that came my YSL Cassandra bag. This is in the black grain leather. It also comes in a smooth leather as well. Went for the grain because I thought it'd be a lot more durable. I have to say, this bag is so durable. It's seen so many wears. I've worn it, honestly, so many times. Can't say I've always treated it with utter respect because it's been on a few nights out. Honestly, not a scratch on it, looks brand new. It's got feet on the bottom, so that's always been protected, and well, you can see for yourself, it literally looks brand new. I would always recommend this bag to anyone that's in the market for a designer handbag that's not too expensive, like mid-price range. Is great for everyday use, but can also easily be adapted and worn in the evenings. It's got that top handle, and you can also take the long strap off as well. And just something that's so classic. Like I said, it's got the timeless YSL logo on it. I just have nothing negative to say about this bag either. I also love the closure on it, how you tap the end of the Y, it opens up. It's actually quite roomy as well. You can get quite a lot in it. And yeah, faultless. As many of you know, I'd spoken about it before. I had been on the hunt for a YSL Sac de Jour bag, and I wanted it in a beige or brown colour. The beige colour I wanted had been like discontinued. I'd been on the hunt for it for absolutely years. And then I saw this one on the Farfetch website. So this isn't the colour that I wanted, but it was the style I wanted. It was in brown, and it was a bag. Like, a brown bag didn't feature in my handbag collection. I mean, I've just showed you them all. There was no brown ones here. So I felt like it was something I was missing. Now this bag is beautiful. Look at like the faux croc on it. If I get it a little bit closer, it kind of gives you a truer representation of the colour. It's a really gorgeous kind of autumnal brown. And I just knew I had to have it. This bag definitely hasn't seen as much use as I expected. Mainly because I haven't actually gone anywhere to wear it. It has actually been on a couple of nights out. That was before like lockdown. What lockdown was it? 27 at this point. But nonetheless, she's very beautiful, and I feel like a real iconic and timeless handbag. After that came my Bottege Veneta. I feel like out of my entire collection, this is the most trend-driven handbag. It is so heavy as well, guys. I can't explain to you the weight of this chain. It's extremely cool, and every single time I look at it, it always reminds me of Rosie Huntington Whiteley. You guys might have seen her over on Instagram. I mean, I hope you have, because she's like the coolest woman ever. She has this, I think she's got the suede one though, which I have to say, the suede one came out after I got this one. The suede one is so beautiful, like, it's amazing. But this one's pretty beautiful as well. It kind of looks black, but actually if I get it up close, it is like a chocolate brown kind of colour. As I say, the chain is so heavy. Another bag I definitely haven't worn as much as I'd have liked to because of the lockdowns, and I just haven't really had anywhere to wear her. I love the fact she's got the top handle, the crossbody as well. I do think, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say it, the quality of this, it's alright, like it's not bad. Is it worth 2,000 and something pounds? No, it's not, but it's very cool. I like it because it's very different to any other bags that I own. And the Bottege things, I like the design of them. I like, as I say, how they're different and things. The thing that I don't like about Bottege is the fact that it gets duplicated a lot. I know all of these things do. I know that, like, all of these bags, you can get fakes of everything, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. But the difference between having like a fake Gucci is, when I see someone with a fake Gucci, you've completely faked the Gucci logos, you've faked everything about it. But with these, because there's no logos on them and stuff, which in some ways is the reason people love them, because they're a little bit more understated and you haven't got like this huge print all over it. The only downside to that is you can easily get them remade, and to be honest, the copies look pretty much exactly the same as the real ones, and the price difference is about £2,250. So yeah, that's the only thing I would say about Bottege. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still nice to know that yours is a real one and all the rest of it, but I'm all about saving money sometimes, and if you can get a dupe that is just as great, which, don't get me wrong, I would never wear a dupe that's got a fake label on it, so it's really trying to be a fake of a brand. But when it's just like a replica or an inspired by design, I'm all for that, to be honest. My God, I feel like I have been talking for so long. My next bag was this. This is my YSL Solfino. I think it's that. Probably completely murdered the pronunciation of this bag. Isn't she just the most beautiful colour ever? I can't wait to wear in spring summer. I just know it's going to go with so much. It is the cutest size. It's actually the same closure as the Cassandra bag that I showed you not so long ago, which is my black YSL bag. It's actually quite deceiving because the inside is a lot bigger than it actually looks. You can fit a lot of stuff, it fits your phone in and things like that. I like with this bag the fact the strap on it, oh my god, I've caught my hair in it. Anyway, now I've detached myself. I like the fact the strap is quite short, so it actually sits, oh my god, I'm whacking myself with it now as well. I like that it sits a little bit higher up, so when you wear it crossbody, it doesn't hang down, it actually sits like here, if that makes sense. And I just love the colour of it. It is the most buttery, smoothest leather ever. I do think you'd have to be careful if you use this a lot because this leather would definitely scratch. I've worn this bag a few times, but not enough to give you a full review on it because, I mean, I've said it about the last 5 bags. Lockdown, you know, Corona. There's only so many places you can wear them, like your kitchen, the living room, but seeing these bags, I'm not going to know what to hit them because they've had a solid year off. Just sat in the cupboard, but they've got some work to put in because trust me, I'm going to be going places this year. And then my most recent bag in my handbag collection is my Sac de Jour Nano in the beige colour that I dreamt of for honestly 5 years. This bag, like I was saying about the Croc Nano, was the bag that I wanted. This was the Nano that I 100% wanted. It is just timeless, it's beautiful. It is the only bag, obviously, other than my last bag that I showed you. As you can see, they're pretty much exactly the same colour, but it's the only bag in my collection that is a light brown. All of my bags are either black, dark brown, Louis Vuitton print, or obviously I've got my one white YSL bag. I want it so much through this winter, a lot more than I even expected. I love wearing like winter white outfits, all cream and all neutrals, and it just goes perfectly with those outfits. It is a beautiful handbag. I feel it is iconic. It is timeless. This style has been around for so many years and I don't believe it's dated at all. I would still buy these bags now and I just love it so much. And I'm so happy it joined the family. If I'd have told my 14-year-old handbag obsessed self that when you're in your 20s you were going to have, I mean, in my opinion, not blowing my own trumpet, but a pretty good handbag collection, I mean, I'd have probably fainted with excitement, to be honest. So I am pretty proud of it. At the end of my last handbag collection video, I told you guys handbags that are on my wish list. So handbags on my current wish list are a Chanel classic flat medium with black caviar leather and gold hardware. I've been wanting that since my last video. It's actually had a huge price increase, which makes me super sad. But I would absolutely love that. I would also love that in beige and white, but maybe that's a slight dream world, but we can manifest. Also on my wish list is a Hermes Birkin 25 black Togo leather with gold hardware. I'd also love an Hermes Kelly. Yes, I know they are the most expensive handbags in the world that I've just listed there, but we can manifest, we can dream, and we can hustle. Well, that was my 2020/2021, no, actually we're just going to call it my 2020 handbag collection video because none of these have been purchased this year and I feel like there's going to be big changes this year, you know, we're going to make some big handbag moves, so I will do an updated handbag collection, I'm sure, by the end of the year. So that is the end of my video. I just want to say thank you so much if you've got this far for watching. If you don't subscribe to my channel already, please subscribe and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Thanks again for watching. Bye.